What's up guys, welcome back to Aquatic Elements. Today we have a very exciting video. It is new setup day. Now Aquacadabra have kindly sent me a couple of boxes in the post which I've literally just received. So we're going to be doing an unboxing and finding out what they've sent me, and we're also going to be setting up this new aquarium. Now I told them exactly what kind of tank I wanted to set up, and it's definitely something quite different from the usual tanks we have on the channel. So it's going to be very interesting to see what you guys think and the feedback that I get from you guys. Now I don't exactly know what's in these boxes, but I've got a rough idea, so it's going to be a little bit of a surprise for me as well. But let's get these unboxed and see what they've sent. Now, first up, it's the tank itself. You obviously can't quite see what it is, but I'm gonna get the bubble wrap off it and then I can show you exactly what tank they've sent. So here it is. This is the new Fluval Spec 19L. So this is a 19-litre Fluval Spec tank, and we're going to be setting it up in today's video, which I'm really excited about. And we're probably going to be doing something quite similar to what is on the box. Now, as I mentioned, a very different style of tank compared to what we usually have with the Monster Fish Mega Tank and the Grow Out tank as well. But we're going to be doing something slightly different, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how it turns out. Now we're going to unbox this tank, but let's see what else Aquacadabra have sent. Now it's going to be interesting to see what we're going to be putting in this tank. It would be great if you guys could put some suggestions down in the comments. I do know what I am going to put in this tank, but it'll be interesting to hear what you guys think as well. This box will likely be our scaping supplies and everything we are going to be putting in the aquarium. So first off, I can see we have some Bucephalandra. So we've got a little tub from Tropica with our Bucephalandra in it, and I think it is in vitro, so it's in the gel solution. We've also got some other plants. These look like Spirodella, which is a type of floating plant that we can use on the surface of the aquarium. Then we've also got another type of Bucephalandra, and they come in these little cups. So they're fully sterile. We're not going to have any cross-contamination with any sort of snails or pests. We've got some weeping moss, which is pretty cool, in this tub here. And we've got a few more bits as well. So we've also got some Fluval Biomax media. So this is going to help us with the bacteria in our filter. So a little bit of a bacterial upgrade there. And we have also got some more Bucephalandra. This is the needle leaf variety. Plants are looking really healthy. Cannot wait to see what they look like in the tank. And then for substrate, we have gone with the Fluval Stratum. So we've got plenty in here, and you might be having some good guesses of what can be actually put into this aquarium. And then we've even got another box in here as well. So we have this piece of spiderwood. I believe this is one that is from Superfish. So it's quite interesting because obviously with this tank, a lot of you guys may go to your aquatic shop and you may select the exact pieces of hardscape that you want to use, but this is going to be slightly different. I've been given some supplies and I'm going to see what I can do with them. So probably a bit I wouldn't choose myself, but I actually quite like that because it means I need to be a little bit more creative and see what we can come up with. So I've actually decided the location of the tank is going to be in the kitchen. So we're going to head over there, we're going to get the tank unboxed, and then we can begin with the aquascape. Now this is the location I have decided to put the tank in. I've literally just got it straight out the box, and I'm going to put it here temporarily. I may move it around, may move it near a window for a little bit of natural light. But I've just realised that there is a few more goodies that have actually come in this tank. So a big shout out to Aquacadabra. Thank you so much for sending me this tank. Now, I am going to put a little link in the description where you can head over to their site. I believe they might have a discount on at the moment. Now, I will tell you up front, I do not get any commission from this, and I'm not getting paid for this. They have sent me the tank and the equipment, so I'm really, really happy, and a big shout out to them. I'm now going to take the lid off. So we've got our Fluval Spec lid, and see what else we have got in the box. Now, it looks like they've sent some Denale or Denel catappa leaves. Now, that might give you a little hint to what we're putting in this aquarium. And it looks like they've sent us, well, this is really going to give it away, but they've sent a complete shrimp food as well. So I think I might have given away what's going into this aquarium. We've also got a few little packages here, which I'm sure are part of the aquarium itself. So I'm going to unbox all of those now, and then we can begin to bring this aquarium to life. Now we've got everything unboxed. I've just got the completely empty tank here. So I'm going to begin the setup on the aquarium, and we're going to be able to start aquascaping it and see how creative I can get. And then probably in the next episode, we'll be adding our livestock, but I'll talk you through that a bit more as the video goes on. Now we have got the pump installed, as you probably saw, and we've also got the light, which has a few different settings. We've got like a moonlight effect, and then we've got the standard white effect. Now, I didn't show you exactly how that all got set up because it's pretty self-explanatory, and I'm sure there's many videos out there showing how to set up this exact tank. But we're going to now use all of the escaping supplies that Aquacadabra have sent over to me, and we're going to start to get the aquascape into position and bring this tank to life. Now, first things first, we have all of our escaping supplies laid out in front of me. So I've got all of the plants here, which are from Tropica. I've also gathered a little Tupperware full of some stones that I've got out of the garden, and I'll give these a quick rinse before we use them, but I've just had them out sitting on a water feature in the garden. We've also got our catappa leaves, which is going to be one of the last things to add. We've got the fluval stratum, and then we've got our piece of spiderwood. Now, the first job is to add the substrate to the aquarium. Now, I'm using the fluval stratum, as I said, and I would always recommend rinsing this. It can be very, very dirty. However, just due to the plants and the wood and the rocks I'm adding, as well as that super glue, I really want to give the tank a few water changes first, and I knew it was going to cloud up anyway, so that was my reason behind not rinsing it, just to give everything a bit of a flush through first. Now, I've got the different Tropica plants in the tubs, and I'm slowly going to be adding these with this Dymax super glue. Now, I've got a large bottle of this so I can stick all of the Bucephalandra species as well as the moss onto the central piece of wood, and then I'm also going to be breaking them apart and adding them onto some of those stones in the aquarium, just to create a little bit of foliage throughout the tank. Simply just breaking them apart, pulling them apart slowly with my hands to make sure I don't rip up the root systems too much. I'm not going to break them up into too many small chunks, but I would always recommend, if you're using plants in your aquarium, just to gently break them up to add a few different plants into different areas of the aquarium. Now we have 3 different species of the Bucephalandra as well as the moss, which we're going to be adding to that superfish piece of spiderwood. As mentioned, a piece of wood I probably wouldn't normally choose for the aquarium, but I like the fact that Aquacadabra have sent me a nice piece to try something new with and give it a little bit of my, I suppose, escaping inspiration into the aquarium. So I'm just using that super glue to apply all of those plants over the piece of wood, and then we can get that into the aquarium itself and have a bit of a play around with the wood and the rocks to create the new scape. So I've gone for a little bit of a low-lying scape. The shrimp are really going to be the central feature of this aquarium, and I want to give them plenty of room, not allow too much areas for detritus to build up in, so it's not going to be a heavily planted tank. I can keep the moss and the Bucephalandra trimmed back. We've gone for a slow flow as well. I did add a few holes to the main piece of pipework that comes up from the pump to really help slow the flow down, because I don't want my shrimp getting blown about, and I want to make sure that that substrate is kept on the bottom and it's not constantly moving around. But here, adding a final bit of super glue to make sure everything sticks down, and fingers crossed that piece of wood won't decide to float when I get the tank full of water. And there we have it, the scape is finished, and I'm actually really happy with it. Now the stones and the wood are looking really nice in the position. Let me know down in the comment section what you think about the Aquascape, and if you like maybe some of the materials I've used today, or you even want to check out what else Aquacadabra have, then make sure to click that little link down below and see what they've got on their website. But they've got a massive range of items in stock. Now originally I wasn't too sure about this piece of wood. As I mentioned, it wasn't one that I would usually pick, but I'm super happy with how it's come out. Now we need to add the catappa leaves, and also I found some alder cones I had sitting around in one of my aquascaping boxes, and then obviously we've got the floating plants to add as well. So I'm going to put the catappa leaves and the alder cones in. These are going to help soften the water, get the right level of pH for the Caridina shrimps that we're going to be adding, and then we can fill it up with our mineralized RO water and actually get this tank up and running. And there we have it, the tank is now finished, and as I mentioned, I'm really happy with the scape. Definitely adding those catappa leaves and alder cones have really brought this tank to life, and it's given the perfect environment for the Caridina shrimp. Now I've actually kept Caridina shrimp before, and I have bred them. I've bred many hundreds of shrimp, but this is going to be my first shrimp tank I've had in many years, a good 6-7 years, and I'm super excited to see how it does. Now I'm going to add the RO water now, and I'll probably give the tank 24 hours to cycle, and we'll come back tomorrow, see how it's doing, and then we can talk about the filtration a little bit and wrap up the video there. So I'll start getting this filled with water. I know the super glue is probably going to go a little bit white in certain areas where it meets the water, but over time that will disappear. But let's get it filled up, and I will catch you guys in 24 hours. And there we have it. It is pretty much exactly 24 hours since I set this tank up, and I am so happy with it. So a big thank you to Aquacadabra for sending me this setup, and I'm really looking forward to getting some shrimp in here and watching them grow, and obviously making update videos for you guys at home. Now I haven't spoken about the cycle and how I'm going to be cycling this aquarium. I am going to be using the Fluval Biomax. So I did get an extra pack of this, which I'm going to be adding to my main aquarium, and that is going to allow the bacteria to grow onto the media, cycle it, and then I can add it straight into the filter. Now I could let this tank naturally cycle. The Fluval Stratum does have an ammonia source to it, and you can build up the beneficial bacteria. We've obviously got the plants in there as well, but I am being totally upfront. I'm going to add this Biomax to the filter in the Monsterfish Mega Tank, and I'm going to get the bacteria to grow on this probably over the next week and a half, and then I will do probably a 50% water change and then add the media and add these shrimps on the same day. But I'm going to talk about that in the next episode on this Fluval spec. But overall, super happy with it. Really like the way the scape came out. If you guys have any suggestions on which kind of shrimp I should get, then leave them down in the comment section below. And if you guys have got any questions about this tank or maybe Aquacadabra as well, then let me know down in that comment section. But thank you all for watching. Remember to keep those water changes up, and happy fish keeping.